We already know Macau's a great spotted player, an elite defender, but what can he improve to become that all-star level player? That's what we're about to take a look at today. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, like, turn on notifications. Let's get straight to it. Now, if Macau wants to take his scoring average from 17 and become somewhere around 21, 22, he has to improve his ability to play in the pick and roll game. And that also starts with his tactics in it, one, and two, his handle. Because now if you notice in these first two plays, he ain't set up no screen. He ain't set up the screen for nothing. Because look how much of a gap there is between him and the screener. By doing this, this allows the defender to be able to chase over the top and be able to recover to you just a little bit quicker because he doesn't get hit by that screen. And now what this does to you as a player, it rushes you and slows you down with the amount of time you're able to read your options. Whereas even on the play like this, he works his way down, bumps Tatum, forces him to really go under that screen. On top of the fact he's already playing lazy defense, he's able to get right here to his mid-range without having to worry about Jaylen Brown right here on the stunt.
Celtics with this group and guys out, no way. Is it easy to slow the group down and speed them up?
And then he gets this one off the catch and smokes it. But it's also important to note that as he does make these improvements to his handle, if he doesn't abandon what's true to him and what he's already great at, which is playing off the ball. Whether it's shooting off the catch, whether it's cutting, or whatever it is, he's got to stay true to what he's naturally good at. Because at the end of the day, he does get maybe like 12 points, 10 points around there a night, and he averages 17. So you can't forget that part of your game. You can't forget it. And now his mid-range. If you watch Macau, he can knock the mid-range down off the catch or off the dribble. And the fact that his handle isn't even fully there, but he can still knock him down off the dribble, that's a great sign, and that's what he's got to work towards as he builds his handle. Now, before he gets back to his other pick and roll, notice this one. No setup once again. It's like he's just running off these. It's making him get downhill, force him to rush his options sometimes. And the fact even he's still able to get to that mid-range, even when this handle is not that great, is a great sign. It's something he has to work towards and build around. And he can still make shots. And I feel the only reason as to why he gets so many easy looks, he hasn't established himself as a true threat. Because once you become that true threat, teams are going to start holding in on you. They're starting to get in game plans, and these looks are never going to be easy. You're not going to get these straight line drives. You're not going to get these easy looks at the rim. And now if you say that's not true, look at the best players in the world. They never get it. They always got to work for their buckets. So once you become a real threat at something, they're going to start game playing it, and those options are going to go away. Now, like I was saying about Macau's mid-range, how could he start getting to there more often? Plays like this, where instead of going for that floater, where you can hit a floater, of course, he can make shots. But what he's great at, aside from playing off the spot up, is getting to that mid-range. And now if you notice here on Grant Williams, notice his shoulders turn. Now in situations like this, you see all the great scorers of all time, Kobe, Jordan, KD, anybody, Kawhi, these great mid-range players, they all, as soon as you see their shoulders turn, they get straight into their dribble pull-ups. And for Macau, if he adds this dribble pull-up to his bag, not just off the catch, but also when he comes off screens and handoffs, that's going to add a few more points to his average. And he's going to be able to be in that all-star level conversation. And right here, you take that one dribble, short 1-2, and then be able to get up into your shot and get away from Grant getting into space. That should be a knockdown from Macau. Because this shot, it's a tough shot, but he can make it easier if he just gets to what he's better at. Now, you got to get easy buckets in games too. Everybody always gets a few easy buckets in the game. It's just that you being able to find them. Now right here, Derek White on this top guard, Tatum not even watching, Williams not even aware. So I'm surprised CP ain't peeped this, and you're also gonna see another play where they had the same coverage, where if they could have moved this action just a little higher, and then CP could have do this over the top, the Bridges have found himself in the middle of the floor with two guys pitching in on him, and at that point he's just got to make the read. It's like times like this is where you're going to force the defense to make adjustments, and you're going to be able to get a couple easy buckets within the game. Here once again, White on the top guard. Now notice at first, Williams is coming up to step up to Wainwright, I think his name. But if he slows down this slip just a little longer, allows Williams to step up, holds this off and says forget this action, because every time White or Bridges gets into his mid-range, White's on this top guard. Chris Paul throws this over the top. That's an easy two, because there's no help, especially on this play. On the other one, maybe he'll get the bucket, but on a play like this, easy, because there's no help. Notice his pace. Notice his pace. Did he change pace pretty much that whole time except for when he stopped and changed directions? Did he change the speed? Let's go back and look at this right quick. He had this move right here. But as a defender, the easiest thing to do as a defender when you're guarding somebody is to move at one speed. And if you're an offensive player going at one speed, you're doing the defense justice, because it's hardest to be able to stop and go as a defender when you're reacting to the offensive player. So if you're never changing speeds, if you're always going at one speed, you're always going to allow the defender to actually be somewhat in the play, because it's easy for them to move like that. That's why you see players like Luka so great with pace. Players are stopping, speeding up, speeding up, and he's getting all these crossovers, but he's kind of slow. But he knows how to change his pace, which makes it great.
All over the Bridges.
Another opportunity for him to get into his mid-range right here.
Over the Bridges.
Boom, right here. As soon as you see Brown open up and you see Horford on this help, you take this dribble, this last dribble right here, get out into space and towards his baseline. Get out into space towards his baseline, get that shot up. Because with his mid-range, his length, he also gets good elevation on it. He can shoot over the top of anybody who comes over here and tries to contest this. So situations like this allows him to be able to get to his second forte, which is not being a spot up player, is get into his mid-range. And now plays like this, you won't see this often. As he gets great in actions, great at improving his skill off the dribble, he's not going to see these too much, because like I said, you improve your skill, they're going to hone in on you, and these looks, defenses are going to start playing a little tougher, knowing where to force you and what not to let you do. I'm telling you, he can make shots. His ability to make shots is there, but it really boils down to his handle and his pace. And get it comfortable. Now right here on this pick and roll, once again, there's a lot of pick and roll improvement Mikal can have, as long as he's able to have pace.
He is second in the league in minutes per game, fourth in the league in...
Boom. Now notice where he decides to put White in jail and where he stops. Right here. At this point, by stopping right here, you got Brown on you, you got Horford on you, you got White on you. So you're not an option. You got no looks for yourself at this point. At this point, you're just trying to give the ball up. But whereas if he got to somewhere, if he got to right here and decided to stop and slow down like CP3 does, and then allowed Ayton to roll and force Horford to drop, and then see what options you got from there, see what Horford wants to do. Does he want to play both? Does he want to stop you? Does he want to stop Ayton? Or what does JB want to do? Does he want to come all the way over and you have CP3 in the corner? Just by stopping a little early on this pick and roll, but that starts with having pace. Having pace.
Total minutes played so far this season, which is no more.
Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James even weighed in on it. He gave the big eye emoji when
no pace, no setup. He's just running off actions. He's missing a lot of opportunities, man. You can even take this long two right here. You can even take this long two right here. Bucket's a bucket. He's able to ultimately able to make something out of it, but it won't always end up like that. You got to always maximize your first looks. But like I said, he don't got no crazy pace even when he's trying to set something up. He's not great at angles, but he's still able to get to his mid-range. He's still able to get to it. So now you add that pace in. That's an easy 4 points plus per game. He just hit that joint at the end of the quarter. It's not Mikal Bridges, but he just hit this joint at the end of the quarter and just so casual, bro. I ain't never see somebody hit a shot this deep like dead before. That's the other block. It ain't count though, but damn, man. Damn, man. Going back to Mikal though.
Picked up by Brown and back out to Bridges it goes.
Now you notice his handle. Notice his handle. It's not the great. It's not that great. Still finds his way to his mid-range some way, somehow. But now, in situations like this, that's why I'm saying he needs to get his handle. I'm not saying he needs a James Harden package. I'm not saying he needs to do all this dribbling, this tap, crossover, step backs, and whatnot. He just needs a few go-to moves. Now, think of this. Now, I want to compare him to Kawhi. Kawhi, when he was in San Antonio, similar player to Mikal, but Mikal's a better player off the spot up, better shooter. But what Kawhi did when he took that leap is that as he began to develop his handle, he just learned, one, the mid-range, like Mikal is great at, and I've been saying he needs to be able to add to his game if he wants to become that all-star. And then two, Kawhi also, when he added his handle, added that bag, he didn't add a whole bunch of moves. He just learned how to get to his spots, and he only added a couple size-ups. He only does a tween skip or double tween. Like, you never see Kawhi just dribble the air out the ball. You never see him do that. He goes to the same moves, same size-ups, and then he develops counters on those moves. So now if you just have a few of those size-ups, have counters to those moves, know how to react when know how to counter when defenses throw you at different situations and different coverages, now that's all you need. That's all you need. Now you don't need nothing crazy. You don't need to have an AI package or a Steph package. Just do what's comfortable to you. Find your own package or find your own game. Develop it, and now add layers to it.
Back out to Bridges it goes.
I really like the intensity that Boston is showing on the defensive end. Look at him swarming right there.
Bridges from the
White sold him out right there, hitting him on the head.
still arguing on his way back. Ayton at the baseline, and it's Bridges into the paint.
Like I was saying,
And get
as he begins to improve his game, he cannot abandon his roots of being able to play off the catch. Because at the end of the day, Book's going to get his looks. So what are you going to have to do? Space the floor, play your role. If you get that other star or whoever else is on the court, Cam Johnson, they may be doing their thing, Ayton, you still got to play off the ball. There's only a 20% chance that you're going to be able to have the ball. A 20% chance. There's 5 players on the court, so you're not going to always be the person with the ball. It's just how it is, unless you're Luka Doncic, which is not often. And this is not what that Phoenix Suns team is. So you cannot forget what he's still great at, because he still gets a lot of scoring off of it. And if he does forget it, then he's going to get lost in the game. So that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and we out of here.